at Jumpstart. So you're over the halfway point of the training program by a week. So we're really coming towards the end. You've earned a fun workout here, but we're also gonna try and incorporate the skill we learned last week on Wednesday, which was the Turkish get-up. So you're gonna see that at the end of our workout. That's kind of the treat or the challenge for you to see how your athletic abilities are improving. Right? When we talked about the real goal of this program, the real goal of fitness in general is to make sure that we are developing movement variability and the ability to do movements in a lot of different ways. So we're gonna warm up accordingly as always. We're gonna start on the mat, okay? And we're gonna do shoulder external rotation in 2 ways. So when we're on the mat in this position, instead of lying flat, unless the drill calls for it, it's nice to have the knees up, but always activate the anterior chain. So let's pull those toes up towards the knees, okay? That gives you a little bit of a posterior pelvic tilt, gets that back flat to the mat, and that really helps to incorporate the core as we're doing these movements, okay? So what we're gonna do here is elbows tight to the sides. You're gonna turn your fists out as far as they can go towards the floor. You might be able to get there, you might not. So like me here, I'm not quite there. You're gonna come forward, bring those elbows up to that Y position, and again, we're gonna go towards the floor, squeeze those elbows down, elbows to the sides, and wrists come out. So we're really working the rotator cuff here, priming that movement, variability, and control, and we're gonna do the prescribed repetitions for 2-way shoulder external rotation. Okay, pretty simple drill, but the Turkish get-up requires a lot of rotator cuff strength, and we want to make sure we're warming that muscle group up accordingly. So now we're going to go to our tall kneeling to squat. We've done this before. You can do this with a dumbbell to increase the challenge, or you can just go body weight. Okay, so I'll do body weight first and I'll pick up the dumbbell. So tall kneeling here, we're always making sure we're active through the hips. So we're going to tuck our tail underneath and push those hips forward. That's going to set the core so we've got ribs and pelvis in alignment, and we can have a really good stable position here. And then without shifting as much as possible, you're going to bring one leg forward and stand up, okay? And we're going to just come down on the knees, and now we're going to switch. So again, lock that core in with as little shift as possible. Knee comes forward and stand, step back, and back into this position. With a dumbbell, you're in that goblet position, so ribs down, abs crunched, hips come forward, and again, shift, stand, reverse, down, ooh, a little wobbly, and then here, stand, reverse, down. Okay, prescribed repetitions there. As always, really warming up that last part of the Turkish get-up, if you remember from Wednesday last week. So again, you're sort of seeing the warm-up is all built around getting prepared to do this big-time full-body movement, and we're going to continue that theme with a overhead sit-up here. So again, you can do this with weight, or you can do this with no weight, but you're going to go one arm up, the other arm's out for stability, and here you're going to curl your whole body up. Keep those heels down, dig those heels into the floor, press that dumbbell up towards the ceiling, and then with keeping that arm up nice and high towards the sky, you're gonna keep those heels down, really fight to keep those heels on the floor, curl back down to the mat, okay? So again, press that dumbbell up to the ceiling, really push through that shoulder, keep those heels dug into the mat, and we're gonna lower in control. Same thing, other side. So again here, we're going to control up, push through to the ceiling, and then we're going to lower and control, keep those heels down on the floor, and prescribed repetitions as always. So that's your warm-up, gets you ready for the big Friday workout to come. All right, Friday's workout, so we're going to do 2 different 10-minute circuits, okay? So there's going to be 3 exercises in each circuit, and we're going to do as many rounds as possible in the 10 minutes. Gonna have a little break, switch gears, and then we're gonna have another 10-minute AMRAP, okay? So this is meant to be highly metabolic, but we're also trying to incorporate some of the skills that we've built. So it's a little bit of a different format than we've done the rest of the week, but you've earned this. So we're gonna start on the mat with a hollow body hold, okay? So we can do this a couple of different ways, okay? To set this up, I'll show the hardest version first, and then I'll show you some variations. Okay, so you're gonna start on the mat, and first things first, I want you to bring your knees to your chest, okay? So this rounds your lower back and gets your pelvis and diaphragm aligned, okay? So from here, you're gonna straighten your legs out. Now we're holding this position. And now, if you wanna make it a little bit harder, arms come out overhead, and we're just gonna hold this hollow body position. So hopefully, your shoulders will be off the mat, and you're just resting on your two little bones on the back of your pelvis. So your posterior superior iliac spines, and here we're squeezing and holding for 30 seconds, if possible, will be our prescribed repetition here. Okay. Now, variation-wise, bringing those knees in and just putting those arms up overhead. Okay, so this is also a hollow body hold. We're still rounding that lower back. Okay, knees are staying in tight, arms come out overhead, get those shoulders off the mat, those shoulder blades, and we're holding here 30 seconds. Okay, that would be the easiest variation. A little bit of a trick that you can do to add a little bit of activation here is to hold a broomstick or hockey stick, golf club, whatever's available in your home. And now this looks like the bottom position of a pull-up, which is another really tough movement to learn the skill, but this gives you a little bit of that motor programming and that feel of pulling down on something to create that hollow body position. So prescribed repetitions there would be 30 seconds. Then we're gonna get up and grab our dumbbell, and we're gonna do some single arm thrusters. So we're gonna go left side, right side for the prescribed repetitions, okay? And the thruster is, remember, a squat to an overhead press, one fluid movement. We've done thrusters before. We're gonna throw in a single arm version here. So full squat, we've been working on our squat here. The butt comes back, it's all through the knees. So this is not a deadlift, right? We wanna make sure that we're driving through the knees so our body comes straight down. And then as we come up, we're gonna press all the way up overhead, okay? Your off arm is gonna counter so you can incorporate that posterior oblique sling. The fascia of the body is meant to make things easier. So squat, press. Down in one fluid controlled movement. Squat, press. Squat, press. There's your thruster, left arm, and do the reps on the left side. Switch weight. As little rest in between as is possible. That's the point of an AMRAP. You get to go at your own pace. We want to try and use as little rest as we can to get as much movement in our 10 minutes as possible. So we're doing our single arm thrusters left and right, and then we're gonna hit the wall for a little wall squat. And again, we're gonna try and hold this for 30 seconds. Okay, so you're gonna get your back to the wall. I want you to step out about a foot width from the wall. So there's about a foot width for me, okay? And I'm just gonna squat down into a squat position, come knees to parallel, or whatever's comfortable. If this is all you can handle here, that's fine. Come to your squat position, keep your low back in contact with the wall, and we're just gonna hold here for our 30 seconds. Don't forget to breathe. Breathing is your body's mechanism of calming down your nervous system, and if you wanna be able to control a movement, you gotta be able to breathe in a movement. So this is your opportunity, same with the hollow body hold, to breathe and learn how to control this movement pattern. Okay, when you're done, press up, step off the wall, and you're gonna go back to your hollow body holds and continue the circuit for 10 minutes. Then we're gonna hit you up with another 10-minute AMRAP coming up next. All right, so here we go, circuit number 2. Again, a 10-minute AMRAP circuit coming at you. You've taken a little rest from that first circuit. We're coming back with this one. Just 2 moves in this one, but we're going left side, right side, and they're challenging full body movements, okay? So we've been really working hard on our single leg hinge movement pattern. We've done single leg hinges, we've done single leg hinge and clean, we've done rotational single leg movements, okay? So now we're taking it to another level, and we're gonna go single leg hinge, clean, press, okay? So all angles are coming from the floor to the chest, overhead, and repeat, okay? So our single leg hinge, remember that back leg is always active, so we're driving that back leg up towards the ceiling. You're going to hinge down, dumbbell just needs to come to shin level, okay? We don't need to be lower than that. Driving that back leg up towards the ceiling, staying nice and active. You're gonna snap that dumbbell into a clean position, okay? So we snapped from the hinge, snap through with the hips, and now again, active here where I'm driving that knee up towards the ceiling. You're gonna press overhead, down to chest level, lower to the floor. If you've got to take a little pit stop in between to reset yourself, that's fine. We're probably gonna go low reps on this, okay? And higher quantity, so higher number of rounds. Okay, so there's your single leg hinge and clean. Again, left side, pushing through the floor, getting nice and strong through the ground. Back leg nice and active. Come into that hinge position, driving that heel up to the ceiling, keeping that pelvis down. So we don't want to be flared open like this. You shouldn't be showing anybody over here anything interesting. Okay, so we're going to shut that hip down. And you're going to hit clean, so that snap through, catch your balance, press overhead, and we're going to repeat for prescribed repetitions, snap, press, down, and repeat. Okay? Then we're going to hit the floor for the coup de grace of our training program. We're going to go with our Turkish get-up workout. So we've done this hard on Wednesday. We really focused on this circuit or this program or this movement, and we're going to cap it off today with a little bit of work. We're only going to do 2 reps per side, but it's, remember, a challenging full body movement. Okay, so when we're adding weight to a Turkish get up, we want to come to a sideline fetal position. Okay, load the hand that we're going to be working. So I'm going to go left side first. So left side's going to grab the dumbbell, right side assists, and we're going to roll onto our back. Okay, so now that weight's up overhead. Set your right foot or left foot, right leg comes out straight, and now we're going to do the 3 stages of the Turkish get up. So remember, we started with rolling, arm, elbow, forearm, hand, press through. Okay, then we're going to bridge, swing, hinge. Okay, and then our standing overhead lunge, reverse, swing that leg behind. So this is critical for getting that lateral hinge, is to swing that leg behind, hinge down into that sideline position, plant your hand, bridge, swing through, and we're going to control down to our back. Okay? One thing that will help you with the roll and plant is make sure that when you roll, you don't slide your shoulder out. You want to roll on top of your shoulder. So if you look, my shoulder here is on the mat. A lot of times what people will do is slide out, and now my shoulder's well off the mat, and now when I get to this position, you can see it's going to be really hard for me to get that bridge. But if I keep my shoulder stacked, I roll over it onto my hand and press through, now I'm in a really strong position to bridge, swing, hinge, step through, reverse, swing, hinge, bridge, swing, and down in control there. Remember, if you have to do this with body weight, that's totally fine. Just imagine you're balancing a glass of water on your fist as you press up overhead. Left side 2 reps, right side 2 reps. You're going back to the top with your single leg hinge, clean, and press. 10-minute AMRAP, get as many rounds in as you can, and that'll cap off your 3rd training week of January Jumpstart.